Hi guys, so I'm filming on my iPhone and I feel like it's gonna keep trying to use my face to figure out how to set the brightness, and that's gonna be a pain in the ass, but we'll see how this goes. So anyway, hi guys. Today I have a topic. This would have been a topic that I feel like would have gone really well if I'd actually written out what I wanted to say. I didn't do it. My cat just sneezed. I didn't do that though, so we're just gonna kind of wing it and see how it goes. As you can tell by the title, I almost got kicked out of college. Now, this is something that I actually only just told my mom a few days ago, and I never told my dad. I never told the rest of my family. I was like, you know what, we're putting this behind me. For those of you who don't know, I went to England for my first year of college. So I didn't go there as a study abroad. I only applied to British universities. And as easy as it is now to look back really positively on my experience, I was really depressed for most of my time in England. It is what it is now, you know, I learned from that experience, but at the time it was really difficult. The first half of the year, I went to my classes fairly regularly, but what had happened is I applied to be an English literature major, and I got there and realized I did not want to be an English lit major. Nope, not interested. Now in England, unlike in the US, you only take classes pertaining to your major. You have, I can't remember what they're called now, it's been so long, but you have like a supplementary class, or a complementary class basically, but everything else is just your major. So I took English Lit, and my supplementary class was copywriting and text editing, which I actually really enjoyed. But what that means is you can't kind of mess around with other subject matter. You can't, you know, just take a science course. Like, no, if you want to take a science course, you take a science major. When I realized that I didn't want to do English, I still didn't know what I wanted to do. So I thought, well, there aren't that many options. I guess I'll do business management. So I tried that, didn't like it. Luckily, I still got to keep my copywriting and text editing, but you know, that wasn't my major. I don't even know if it was a major that was offered. That would have been great. Obviously, it's a little late for that now. So I went to my classes mostly, then I went home for Christmas, and when I came back, I don't really think I went to class. I went to like maybe a couple classes, but that was it. I barely left my house. I would even have groceries delivered. I would stay in the house for like over a week at a time. I wouldn't go anywhere. It was kind of like being in quarantine, except you're depressed and it's voluntary. I'm like a black hole, and I sucked two of my roommates into this schedule with me, but I would wake up around like 5 p.m., go downstairs, get on the couch, watch TV or movies on my computer until like 6, 7, maybe 8 a.m., and then sleep until 5 p.m. So I was sleeping a lot. I was sleeping the entire day away. It was not healthy, but I did that for months. I didn't turn it around, but I remember I got an email or something from my publishing teacher. She kind of guilted me. Not like she was meaning to guilt me, but she sent something so thoughtful, or I had to go pick something up or something, and what she said was so thoughtful, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to let her down. Like, my biggest motivator, and this goes for like most of my life, my biggest motivator is disappointing other people. So as soon as I was like, oh my God, she cares, I don't want to let her down, I was more invested. So from March onward, I started going specifically to my publishing class. Some of my other classes I was too scared to go to because I didn't know how to explain how I hadn't been there for 3 months, so I didn't do it. Anyway, as one can guess, I didn't really have great grades. Now, all of these classes basically had 3 things you were graded on. It was like 1 project, 2 project, finals, like 40% of your grade. So I thought I could get away with like most of this, and I kind of did. I don't remember what my grades were specifically. I know I passed one of them, maybe 2 of my classes. I only had 4. I definitely failed one of them, and the other one, questionable. But when I had gone back in December, I decided that I wanted to come back to the US. Obviously, England wasn't really working out. I knew that much, so I applied to UMass. I ended up getting accepted. I was so excited. I was like, this is great. Like, I'm gonna go to UMass. Woo. So I go home for the summer, I get to UMass, and it's like amazing. It is the best thing ever. I think 2013 to 2014 was like the best time of my life. I made new friends. I was so happy. It was just such a good time. And got my computer right here. So this is where the I almost got kicked out comes in. I think classes started maybe like last week in August. This came in September 5th, 2013, and it basically said,
please note that your admission is contingent upon maintaining your current level of academic performance. It is your responsibility to notify the admissions office of any disciplinary action or significant decline in academic performance that occurs after acceptance. based on this information. We subsequently received a final transcript from my school, which shows your final grades are substantially below our admission standards. Please provide an explanation for your poor grades by email. As liaison to the University Admissions Committee, I will then forward complete materials to the committee members for a decision about whether or not to rescind your admission for fall 2013.
So this was devastating. My heart was beating out of my chest. I was so upset. I was like, I don't want to leave. How am I going to explain this to my parents? Oh my God. So when I applied, they accepted me based on my high school grades. I had really good grades in high school. You know, I took AP classes and all of that. They didn't have anything for, I'm sorry, I thought I heard a noise. I thought it was coming from my laptop. It wasn't. Now I forgot where I was. So they hadn't seen any of my college grades because unlike in the US, you don't get, you know, semester grades or anything like that. Like you just get one grade at the end of the year. You take the same classes for a whole year. So this freaked me out. And I'm not gonna read you this whole email, but basically I sent an email back and I was like, I am so sorry I didn't contact you first. You know, I went to school in England, everything I just said to you. I didn't remember this part until I was reading this, but I also did have some issues with UC when I was over there. I remember I had to have my dad ship over medicine. I probably could have gotten it in England, but as like an 18-year-old idiot, I didn't want to figure out how to navigate healthcare in a different country. Probably would have been cheaper too. So I sent this really long email explaining it, you know, saying I'm so sorry, like this last year isn't really a reflection of who I am, what I can accomplish, and the type of student I am. It was out of character, you know, it's not an excuse, but whatever. And I didn't remember this either. Luckily I have the emails. I ended up messaging her again, being like, I don't know if I properly conveyed how much I want to stay at UMass. Is there any way I can meet with someone and explain this to them? And then I emailed her again, and I'm like, sorry for emailing you again. But yeah, I was reading and I saw that there's like academic probation. Like, is there any way like you could put me on academic probation and then I can prove to you that I deserve to be here, whatever. And she emailed back and was like, yeah, we don't really do that. I'm paraphrasing. She said, I have read your statement, which is both honest and articulate. I'm sending the statement along with your application materials, including your exemplary high school record and SAT scores, to the committee members. They do not meet personally with students. While I am not the ultimate decision maker, after reading your statement, I urge you not to worry too much about this. It is possible you may not hear back from us until early next week, and it is important for you to continue making your transition smoothly in the interim. That was the next day on September 6th. And then later that same day, a few hours later, she said, Jessica, the University Admissions Committee has reviewed your application materials and your letter of explanation, and they will not be rescinding your admission. They believe you're fully prepared and committed to be a successful student. And that was the best thing I had ever read. Like, in my whole life, that was the best email I have ever received up till this day. So I almost got kicked out of college. I know it's not really exciting. I didn't like jump off a roof or like break anything, but I really did almost get kicked out. Oh God, whew, dodged a bullet there. Those were like really some of the best years of my life, for sure. Minus the last one. But like the middle two were really good. That is my story for this week. I know I could have done so much better. Every once in a while I stumble across a YouTube video and I'm just like, wow, that was really thoughtful. And then I make a video and I'm like, let's wing it. That's all I got for this week. I'm sorry I didn't make a video last week, but I didn't. I'm not gonna make any excuses. I just didn't do it. But still here, still making videos, just a little bit less responsible. And on that note, I will probably see you next Tuesday. Bye.